What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Samuel, a second-year medical student in Russia, and I make videos about educational stuff, productivity, fun facts, debunking myth, and countries and all of that. So if you love that, please, you can consider subscribing to this channel and turn on your bell notification so that you get notified as soon as I drop a video on this channel every single week. Moving to today's topic, today's video, there's this fact known to everybody that time is one of the most limited resources of man. It says that most of the time we have a lot of things to actually get done, but we have limited time to actually get these works done. Taking myself for example, earlier today before I started shooting this video, I was actually getting to set the camera, the tripod and everything, getting them done. After that, I picked up my phone and went to my Notion app, my #1 productivity app that I'm going to be talking about soon in upcoming videos. I picked up my Notion app and I was scrolling through loads of things I was meant to get done that particular time. And I looked at my watch, I looked at the time, I saw that it's actually going to be very hard to get all of these things done in this limited time. When we find ourselves in this type of situations, most times the seemingly safe escape route or safe way out or fastest way out is actually to multitask, but that is actually very, very wrong, or we could consider that as a misconception. So today we're going to be talking about, once again, the effect of multitasking on productivity and effect of multitasking on the brain. So the way the video is going to go today is just going to be in 2 steps. The first one, I'm going to talk about why multitasking is actually bad, or what actually goes wrong during multitasking, or what happens to the brain or to us when we multitask. And eventually the second part, I'm going to be talking about what can we do in place of multitasking to get things done, a lot of things done in limited time. So moving to why multitasking is bad. What actually is multitasking? Multitasking is doing one or more tasks or works at a particular time. It does not mean you do everything at the same time, but it could also mean switching from one work to another over a short period of time. So we could take, for example, I'm studying now. I probably have just started studying for a minute or two, and immediately I move to reply my WhatsApp DMs for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I pick up a call, and then while I'm picking the call, I decide to go make food. Or sometimes when I'm studying, I see that I have to study this particular topic, and before I sleep today, I have to watch this video. So I decide to watch a video and to also study. So these are the forms in which multitasking can actually come in. Why is multitasking wrong? So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is attention residue, and I learned this from Ali Abdar, his masterclass on Skillshare, and a lot of his videos on YouTube, and reading some books that I'll actually be talking about elaborately in my videos about productivity coming soon. That's what I learned. I learned that when we actually start to do a particular task at a particular moment, we get involved in that task, and immediately we switch to another task, we notice that the former task A that we were doing requires some set of rules. So if I'm studying, I have to probably sit down by my table, open textbooks and all of that. But I'm switching to task B, and task B is maybe watching a movie, going to my bed, and carrying my tab or carrying my phone to watch a movie on Netflix. You see that task B also has a different set of rules. So the attention residue means that when we just finish task A and we're moving to task B, when we are about to start doing task B, we have a residue of our attention. So we are still thinking about task A while we're just starting task B. And probably we're just getting task B done, and then we're already moving to another task C. With us, we're going to carry the residue from task A, residue from task B to task C. So this is actually attention residue. Now, another way to actually talk about one of the reasons why multitasking is bad is talking about it in relationship with the brain, how the brain reacts to multitasking. And for us to talk about this, the interesting form of it is to talk about how the brain actually reacts to any task at all. So when we start to perform a task, maybe we start to read, maybe we start to wash plates, maybe we start to watch a particular movie, our brain begins by gathering information about our environment and about what we're about to start doing. Then after a period of time that we've started this task, our brain starts absorbing the information. It gathers the information and then starts absorbing the information. But if we decide to multitask, let's say I want to watch a movie, The 100, and my brain is just gathering the information about the 100. We have just watched 2 minutes of this movie, and then I decide to totally go and start reading a novel or reading a book. And then when we keep on going like this, what we notice is that the process of the information gathering and absorption of the brain is interrupted. The brain is meant to be getting information gathered and absorbing it, but one way or the other, through our multitasking, the brain is not able to complete this process, and as a result of that, we are actually getting less productive. At first, it might seem like we're getting all of these things done at a faster rate or faster time, but in the real sense, we're actually being less productive because our attentions are not as much as they can actually be when we're performing a particular task. Finally, before I move to how we can actually get things done without multitasking, I want to talk about distraction. Well known that heavy multitaskers or people who multitask are very susceptible to addiction. In the sense that I decide to read now and then I'm trying to also watch a movie at the same time or trying to pick a call at the same time, I'm actually distracted. My attention is not fully concentrated on the book that I'm studying. If I'm studying and I have my phone by my side or my laptop in front of me watching or playing a movie, I'm actually very, very distracted. I can't concentrate on studying alone. Now, coming to the final part of the video, how we can actually get things done without multitasking. First thing to do after getting a list of all what we need to do is deciding that we're actually going to perform every one of these tasks one after the other, not two at the same time. So I decided that after coming from school today, I want to watch this particular movie, I want to study this particular chapter, I want to exercise, I want to cook, I want to eat, I want to do this number of stuff. Then we'll decide that, okay, this is the order of my priority. I'm not going to do any of these things at the same time if I need a lot of attention in any of them. So for me to be concentrated in any of these tasks, then I have to do them separately. And then while we decide to do some of these things separately, it might be hard sometimes thinking of how limited the resource of time is. So one of the things that we can actually do in a way to boycott multitasking is the 20 minutes rule. So 20 minutes rule states that you perform one out of every of your tasks for 20 minutes. So let's say I study for 20 minutes and then I stop studying and then I go and start cooking for 20 minutes if possible, and then I stop cooking for 20 minutes and then I exercise for 20 minutes and then I stop. Essence of this 20 minutes rule is that for the brain to be able to complete the session of information gathering and absorption. Finally, in this video, I'm going to be talking about flow state. And flow state is just a state where we are, that our attention and everything, our concentration is actually into one task that we're doing. Let's say we're watching a movie and we watch it so much that we are so concentrated and time flies away. Flow state is like a goal when you're performing a task. So when you start performing a task, the goal or the peak I want to get to is my flow state, whereby I'm so engulfed in it and I'm so concentrated in it that I'm not even concerned about time. I just want to get this task done. So most times, to prevent multitasking, it's important for us to think or envision ourselves getting to this flow state. So I'm starting to read, I just want to get involved in reading to the extent that I'm not distracted by my environment. And when I get involved in it, it's faster for me to perform the tasks, and after I'm done with what I have to do with reading, I can move to the next task. The concept of getting to flow state is very, very interesting, and this is how you get to flow state. You make your tasks hard enough to attract you, but not to actually frustrate you. In the sense that if I get histology questions now or biochemistry questions now, I'm so interested because that is what I know, and sometimes it might be hard and I'm so interested, I want to get this question solved, I want to get this answer to this question. But if I go and decide to answer some questions on surgery that I've not started doing or pharmacology, I might get frustrated and I might get bored by the task. It's not what we want for productivity, because for us to be productive, we actually need to love what we're doing and get interested in what we're doing so that we don't consider multitasking. Before I end this video, I have to talk about the importance of us avoiding distractions, because distraction is one of the reasons why most of us are not productive. So we need to avoid distraction for us to maintain our flow state. So in the sense that I'm about to study, I deal with my phone or social media or anything that can actually distract me or take away my attention from what I'm doing. Or when I'm exercising, I stay focused on what I'm doing. I don't stop to get engaged in conversations or stop to scroll through my Instagram. Or when I'm watching a movie, I do as much as possible to finish every conversation I'm having, and I get engulfed in the movie I'm watching, so that it's just important for us to eliminate every form of distraction. And it's not that distraction is impossible for us to eliminate, it's just that we want to be distracted. So it's possible for us to actually decide that we don't want to be distracted, and we'll put every form of distraction away. Guys, that's been it. I hope we've been able to understand the fact that multitasking does not make us productive, it makes us less productive. And it's important for us to understand the reasons why multitasking is not good for us, and how or what we can do instead of multitasking that our work's done as fast as possible. Thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. If you have not given this video a thumbs up, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and catch you guys in the next video. Peace.